America did not invent human rights. In a very real sense, human rights invented America. From planes to politics, the early life of Jimmy Carter. James Earl Carter Jr. was born on October 1st, 1924 in Plains, Georgia, a small town that would play a significant role in shaping his character and values. Plains was a rural town deeply entrenched in the Jim Crow South, a period marked by racial segregation and inequality. Growing up in this environment, Carter witnessed firsthand the injustices and hardships faced by African Americans. His upbringing instilled in him the values of hard work, faith, and community. The Carter family was deeply religious, attending the local Baptist church regularly, which reinforced a strong moral foundation in young Jimmy. Carter's early life revolved around the family peanut farm, where he learned the importance of diligence and perseverance. The farm was not just a source of income, but a way of life that connected him to the land and the rhythms of nature. Working on the farm, he developed a strong work ethic and a deep connection to the land. These experiences taught him the value of hard work and the importance of agriculture in sustaining communities. This upbringing would later shape his political views and his commitment to social justice. The sense of community and the struggles he observed would fuel his desire to make a difference in the world. After graduating from the United States Naval Academy in 1946, Carter embarked on a career in the Navy, where he served with distinction. Carter served in the Navy's nuclear submarine program, a highly demanding and technical field. This experience exposed him to a wider world and broadened his horizons, giving him a new perspective on life and leadership. His time in the Navy also instilled in him a sense of discipline and responsibility, qualities that would serve him well in his future political career. Following his father's death in 1953, Carter made the difficult decision to leave the Navy and return to Plains to take over the family's peanut business. Back in Plains, Carter proved to be a shrewd businessman, expanding the enterprise and achieving financial success. He modernized the operations and increased productivity, ensuring the farm's profitability. His success in business gave him the confidence and resources to pursue his growing interest in public service. He became actively involved in local politics, seeking to make a positive impact on his community. Carter's involvement in local politics began with serving on the Sumter County Board of Education, where he advocated for improvements in the local school system. He quickly rose through the ranks, winning a seat in the Georgia State Senate in 1962. His campaign was marked by a commitment to honesty and integrity, qualities that resonated with voters. As a state senator, Carter championed racial equality and education reform, often challenging the status quo and the deeply ingrained segregationist attitudes of the time. He worked tirelessly to promote justice and fairness. His efforts in the state senate were instrumental in advancing civil rights and improving educational opportunities for all Georgians, regardless of race. His commitment to progressive values and his ability to connect with voters laid the foundation for his future political aspirations. These early experiences in public service would eventually lead him to the highest office in the land, the presidency of the United States. Ascending the political ladder, governor to president. In 1970, Carter set his sights on the Georgia governorship. He was determined to bring about significant change and believed that his vision for a better Georgia could resonate with the people. His campaign was marked by a relentless drive to connect with voters on a personal level, often visiting small towns and rural areas that were typically overlooked by other politicians. He campaigned on a platform of government reform, racial equality, and economic opportunity. Carter's speeches often highlighted the need for a more inclusive government that represented all citizens, regardless of race or economic status. He emphasized the importance of creating jobs and improving the state's infrastructure to boost the economy. His message resonated with voters, and he won a decisive victory. The election night was a moment of triumph, not just for Carter, but for the many Georgians who believed in his vision. The results were a clear mandate for change, reflecting the public's desire for a new direction in state leadership. As governor, Carter continued to champion progressive causes, appointing more African Americans to state positions than any previous governor and focusing on education, healthcare, and environmental protection. His administration was marked by a series of reforms aimed at making the government more efficient and responsive to the needs of its citizens. he also worked tirelessly to improve the state's education system, believing that a well-educated populace was key to Georgia's future success. Carter's success as governor thrust him onto the national stage. His innovative policies and commitment to social justice caught the attention of the national media, and he quickly became a rising star in the Democratic Party. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life made him a compelling figure in American politics. In 1976, he launched a long-shot bid for the presidency. Despite being relatively unknown on the national stage, Carter's grassroots campaign gained momentum. He traveled across the country, meeting with voters and sharing his vision for a more honest and transparent government. Capitalizing on his outsider status and his image as a man of integrity, Carter connected with a nation disillusioned by the Vietnam War and the Watergate scandal. He promised to restore trust in government and bring a new era of accountability and transparency. His straightforward and sincere approach resonated with many Americans who were tired of political corruption and dishonesty. His campaign message of honesty, competence, and compassion struck a chord with voters, and he defied the odds to win the Democratic nomination. Carter's ability to connect with ordinary Americans and his commitment to addressing their concerns made him a formidable candidate. His campaign events were often filled with enthusiastic supporters who believed in his vision for a better America. Carter faced incumbent President Gerald Ford in the general election. The campaign was intense, with both candidates presenting starkly different visions for the country's future. Carter's emphasis on integrity and his promise to bring fresh leadership to Washington stood in contrast to Ford's experience and steady hand. The campaign was closely contested, with Carter narrowly defeating Ford to become the 39th President of the United States. The election night was a historic moment, as Carter's victory signaled a shift in the political landscape. His win was seen as a mandate for change and a rejection of the status quo. His victory marked a turning point in American politics, ushering in an era of Southern Democrats and signaling a desire for change after years of turmoil. Carter's inauguration was a moment of hope and renewal, as he took the oath of office and promised to lead the nation with integrity and compassion. His presidency would go on to face many challenges, but his journey from governor to president remains a testament to the power of perseverance and the belief in a better future. A presidency of triumphs and tribulations, the Carter administration. Jimmy Carter's presidency from 1977 to 1981 was marked by both significant achievements and formidable challenges. On the domestic front, Carter grappled with a stagnant economy, soaring inflation, and an energy crisis. He implemented a national energy policy aimed at reducing American dependence on foreign oil, promoting energy conservation, and developing alternative energy sources. Carter also made strides in environmental protection, expanding the national park system, establishing the Department of Energy, and signing the Alaska National Interest Lands Conservation Act, which protected over 100 million acres of wilderness. In foreign policy, Carter prioritized human rights, making it a central tenet of his administration's approach to international relations. However, Carter's presidency was also plagued by a series of crises that tested his leadership and ultimately contributed to his re-election defeat. The Iran hostage crisis, in which 52 American diplomats and citizens were held captive for 444 days, cast a long shadow over his administration and fueled a perception of American weakness abroad. Section 4, Negotiating Peace in the Middle East, the Camp David Accords. One of Jimmy Carter's most notable foreign policy achievements was the orchestration of the Camp David Accords in 1978. This historic peace agreement, signed by Egyptian President Anwar Sadat and Israeli Prime Minister Menachem Begin, marked a significant breakthrough in Arab-Israeli relations. Carter's patient diplomacy and his ability to build trust between the two leaders were instrumental in achieving this landmark agreement. The Camp David Accords led to the signing of the Egypt-Israel Peace Treaty in 1979, formally ending the state of war between the two countries. This historic treaty established a framework for peace in the region and earned Carter, Sadat, and Begin the Nobel Peace Prize. The Accords are widely regarded as one of the most significant diplomatic achievements of the 20th century, demonstrating the power of diplomacy and the possibility of peace, even in the most intractable of conflicts. Carter's role in mediating this historic agreement cemented his legacy as a peacemaker and a champion of diplomacy. Section 5, Post-Presidency, the Carter Center and Global Humanitarian Efforts. After leaving the White House in 1981, Jimmy Carter embarked on a remarkable post-presidency dedicated to advancing peace, democracy, and global health. His transition from the highest office in the land to a global humanitarian was marked by a deep commitment to service and a desire to make a tangible difference in the world. He established the Carter Center in Atlanta, Georgia in 1982 as a non-profit organization committed to waging peace, fighting disease, and building hope. The center quickly became a beacon of humanitarian efforts, focusing on areas often neglected by other organizations. The Carter Center has worked tirelessly to address some of the world's most pressing challenges, including conflict resolution, election monitoring, disease eradication, and agricultural development. Its initiatives have reached the far corners of the globe, bringing hope and tangible improvements to countless communities. Under Carter's leadership, the Carter Center has played a pivotal role in mediating conflicts, promoting fair elections, and combating diseases such as guinea worm disease, river blindness, and malaria. These efforts have not only alleviated suffering, but have also fostered stability and development in regions plagued by turmoil and neglect. The center's work has improved the lives of millions of people around the world, earning Carter widespread recognition and accolades for his tireless humanitarian efforts. His dedication has inspired many to join the cause, amplifying the impact of the center's initiatives. Carter's commitment to social justice and his unwavering belief in the power of diplomacy have made him a respected elder statesman and a moral compass for the world. His ability to engage with world leaders and grassroots activists alike has been instrumental in driving forward the center's mission. His post-presidency stands as a testament to his enduring legacy of service and his unwavering commitment to making the world a more peaceful and just place. Through his work with the Carter Center, Jimmy Carter has shown that the influence of a former president can extend far beyond the political arena, touching lives and fostering change on a global scale. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. What's hot for more trending and viral content? Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you next time.